What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTii, Technicals and Statistical Threat of Analysis. Before we start, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider join our trading community on Discord. It's called ARCab. With that said, let's begin. Okay, you guys, real quick, for those of you who don't speak English, click on this gear icon right here. Click on subtitles. Make sure that English auto-generated is enabled so that you can be able to see this option pop up, auto-translate. When you click on it, you'll see an assortment of different languages for you to choose from, you guys. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and flip the script and dive right into the charts. Okay, so this is GTii that we're looking at on the 4-hour, you guys. There are a lot of lines within this chart right now, but that is only because I was testing to see if the asset is respecting market geometry, right? So right before the massive breakout that we had right over here, guys, we did form a triangle, and this symmetrical triangle actually did have an implied target of about $1.33, which is right at our 2.618 fib, in which it did respect. As you can see, these candles were actually, that range was actually working as resistance, and these candles were having a hard time passing through it. Now, in creating the Fibonacci ratio right here, you guys, you can see that after moving this massive upside thrust, we actually came back and tested our 4.618 golden ratio right to the penny. So this is this is actually telling me that the asset is respecting market geometry, you guys, and there are trends within it. And as we made that bottom test, we actually formed what could be a potential descending channel, and this channel is usually a trend reversal signal on its own. So what we need in order for us to validate that channel is actually 2 tests of the resistance. We already have 1 and 2 of the resistance, you guys, but we need also 2 tests of the support. We only have 1 thus far. So that is making me believe that the asset, based on raw price action here, you guys, we are on a downtrend. We're creating a series of lower lows and higher lows. And this is suggesting a potential downside continuation before a recovery. But where would we be going to the downside, you guys? So, and that's also, it doesn't have to happen right after we touch the second test of the resistance, because we can actually make a 3rd test, even a 4th test, and then we would come back and test down here. But that's not what I'm saying, you guys. So let's go ahead and just verify the price action first, and then we can go ahead and dive right in. So there is one more thing that we need to look out for. There is a small gap from let's see, the range is 178 to about 185 is right down here, you guys. So this could potentially be another little thing that, you know, people want to look into before continuing to the upside. It doesn't ever have to be filled, you guys. That it is a fallacy. Like if you believe that we need to come back and fill these gaps, that is false. Sometimes we can actually go even years without even filling these gaps. Sometimes forever and never get filled. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have, you guys. Let's see. Okay, so this is the immediate short-term time frame for GTii. Now, again, this is something that would be potentially following the golden rule of 3, and thus far we only have 1 test of the resistance. We already have 3 tests of the support. So this is also, for the immediate short-term time frame, you guys, this is also a trend reversal signal, and this is a descending broadening wedge. So now, this candle hasn't really returned anything much of what it has given, you guys. So this is actually looking a little bearish, and I believe this is you know, sometimes I end up doing these candle analysis things, you guys, but let's just go ahead and confirm if what we're looking at is correct. So yeah, this is called a bearish. Yeah, it is a bearish engulfing on the 1 hourly, and what that is is when the candle in the front actually engulfs the green candle before it. So this is actually a bearish signal, you guys, and there could be a potential downside to test. There's actually a few areas of interest right here, which would be right at the bottom of this, or the opening of this candle right here, which would be at 338, followed by the resistance. I'm sorry, the support of the descending wedge, which would be about 312. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, you guys. This is going to be the statistical side of GTii, you guys. So I did find on the 3-day chart, so this is actually macro right here, you guys. So I did find an ascending channel, and we have now acquired both the support tests, the 2 at the bottom, and the resistance tests, which is 2 on top. So this is now confirmed that we are within an ascending channel, you guys. Okay, so new viewers, new listeners, please take a gander at this. We are looking at volatility right here, represented by this indicator BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral. In order for us to gain a bias in direction, we actually pair it with a stochastics momentum or a momentum oscillator, similar to this indicator right here, since volatility is direction neutral. Now, whenever we reach above, you can see the values right over here, you guys. Whenever we reach above the 90 percentile, that is what I can consider extreme critical expansion levels. Expansion because we're on the top, and contraction because we're at the bottom. Now, on a 3-day chart, this is like more of a macro perspective. Excuse me, I actually drank a lot of water. Critical levels would be below the 15 percentile, you guys, for contraction. So what I have done is I have taken note of every iteration during the entire history of trading for GTii, which was I believe 2014, I believe. About June 2014. I have taken note of every iteration from where we have contracted from above the 90 percentile, and in doing so, I have also calculated the incorrect versus correct guesses to the upside based on a contraction phase from those extreme highs. And I have also calculated the duration of the iteration and the upside thrust based on that iteration. So the metrics that come back are very interesting, you guys. So let's go ahead and go over those metrics. And one more thing, for the momentum oscillator, I have also back tested for GTii how many times it has guessed the direction. And I said that again, direction. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I've also taken the metrics for the guesses to the upside from the momentum oscillator, you guys. So the momentum oscillator actually has, out of 11 iterations, it actually got 1 wrong. So we have 10 correct iterations. That gives us a momentum upside accuracy of about 90.90%. And I mean, it's not perfect, but it's very good to consider that it is guessing the upside 90% of the time, you guys, or over 90% of the times. So now, based on the BBWP, based on volatility retracing with the momentum oscillator pitched to the upside, we have a total of 11 iterations, and from those 11, we have 7 that are correct. And that gives us an average upside accuracy of 68.63% with an averaged upside thrust of 3,202.47% over the span of just over 32 days. We have 32 and a quarter days right here, you guys. This is proof of work. Okay, so now what I mean by interesting is this, you guys. So if we take a trend line from the wick high of April 22nd, 2019, and we use this wick high of March 31st, 2021, we can see that we have an uptrend right over here, and this is our 3,202% upside thrust over the span of about 35 days. 35 days would be right about here if we measure it, you guys. So it does have some confluence with us reaching this level right over here, and it looks like it could potentially touch this 3,000% upside by possibly end of year or beginning of the next year, you guys. So now consider that what I am talking about is a statistical metric. This is not a certainty by any means. Please consider that and know the difference, that this is not a certainty. Nothing in the stock market is guaranteed, you guys. So what we have done here is we have back tested historical or statistical volatility so that we can be able to gauge some desired targets for the coming days, coming sessions, coming months, whatever they are, you guys. So the fact that there is confluence right over here, you guys, is very curious to me. Okay, now the next thing is that the oscillator, it looks like it's pitched to the downside for now, but let me just make this bigger. As you can see, we are following a type of trend line regression rejection as we move on to the downside, you guys. So there is, and this is already starting to pivot towards the downside, which is in confluence of in accordance actually of what we're talking about, to coming back and test this bottom area, you guys. We'll go ahead and get a bias and direction with the RSI in just a bit. So this is curious that we could potentially do something like this and then come back and retest this trend line before continue on to the downside. So this is potentially going to do some rejection, regression rejection from this trend line, you guys. So now let's go ahead and minimize this and look at. I wanted to see if I can show you guys this fib level. No, it's just in the 3-day, you guys. The fibs are very limited, and they're hard to work with because they can only show so much. So yeah, let me go ahead and leave this for the next time, you guys. Let's get a bias and direction for the short term and the coming sessions for GTii. So okay, so this is the 12-hour RSI that we're looking at, you guys. This is another reason as to why I believe that we can see some downside coming in shortly, possibly after a little bit of a pump to the upside, followed by a continuation to the downside. This is a primary drive of bearish divergence, and it's actually phantom bearish divergence, you guys, since it's going through all the price action. So we have one primary drive, you guys, and it has not started, but it has been confirmed with the closure of this 12-hour candle right over here. So let's go ahead and pull up a multi-pane to see what we have for GTii. So let's go ahead and just make these visible to you. Okay, so let me make this one larger too, and let's go into the immediate short term. So this is going to be the 30-minute RSI, and it has made a bearish cross below the moving average. New listeners, please take a gander at this as well. This is a regular RSI setup. Top portion is the bullish control zone. Bottom portion is the bearish control zone. The inner workings is the weakness percentile of either, and the outer workings of the indicator are the strength percentile. So here it looks like we're entering the bear strength percentile, you guys, and it has made a cross below the moving average. This is suggesting immediate short-term downside, you guys. So I don't usually take a look at the 15-minute, but we can see a micro time frame right now, you guys. So the micro time frame has as well made a bearish cross below the moving average, and it is suggesting with a nosedive right here, continuation on to the downside. This is micro time frame, so we can see immediate short-term downside, you guys. Let's go ahead and move up to the bi-hourly and see what we have. Bi-hourly is suggesting I hate it when this happens, you guys. See these, the moving average is pitched straight to the right. We have the signal line pitched straight to the right. It's not giving us a bias and direction, other than the fact that we are well within the grips of the bear strength percentile at the current moment. A 4 hour should possibly be similar. Let's just take a look if it's not. It is in some way similar as well, you guys. We have to watch out when we don't have an edge in direction, especially in the 4 hour. The 6 hour is suggesting a continuation onto the downside, you guys. We are below the moving average, and we are using the moving average as a sense of a guide towards the downside. We are well within the grips of bear strength percentile right here, you guys. I definitely can give this credit. We are looking at some downside for the coming session, you guys. Now let's look at the daily, since we already saw the 12-hour. Daily is also, it had just entered the bear weakness percentile, you guys, and it is suggesting a continuation onto the downside. The potential of us having a red day for GTii tomorrow, you guys, is is strong. Buy daily is suggesting a continuation onto the downside, you guys, with a nosedive. So tomorrow is likely to be red for GTii, but overall, you guys, I am seeing GTii in a bullish setup, and I'm talking about more of a larger time frame, macro perspective. There is growth to be done within this, you guys. So I'm not a financial advisor. Please take whatever I do say within these videos as a form of entertainment, and please do your own DD, and we'll be okay, right, you guys? But as of now, I do not suggest any type of entry for GTii. The play can actually be better set up when we're touching more of this level down here or this level down here, you guys, at about 313, 311 for, let's see, this is the 1 hour, so possibly even 309 in the shallow threes, you guys, maybe upper twos. But yeah, you guys, I think this is a good place for me to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below. But with that said, you guys, I'll catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.